This is because different protein sources can influence other dietary components such as macronutrients, micronutrients, and phytochemicals, which can affect physiological outcomes. Thus, considering food sources is essential to understanding the physiological effects of protein intake and refining regular dietary sources. Holistically, variation can be quite important. Next, we take an example of individual protein requirements for a healthy adult with high-intensity physical training, such as weight training. If we use the approximate range recommendation of 1.2 grams, the lower end, to the higher end, 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for the daily intake for a physically active individual or athlete-level individual. This range is aimed at supporting muscle repair, growth, and overall recovery for athletes and those engaged in resistance training or intense physical activity. Here is an example of a calculation. Take the weight of an individual in kilograms, multiply this number with the individual daily requirement of 1.2 grams of protein. So, an individual weighing 70 kilograms would be calculated as 70 kilograms multiply with 1.2 grams per kilogram, which equals to 84 grams of protein, subject to individual needs. This suggests approximately, give or take, 84 grams of protein is required by this individual per day, based on their individual parameters. The figure of 84 grams of protein per day could be distributed in terms of daily foods, for example, in meal distribution. If someone is consuming a total of, say, 84 grams of protein per day, this can be distributed across meals. Ultimately, the precise amount and distribution will depend on individual requirements, activity levels, and specific purpose. However, holistically, this is not the only factor to consider. The amount of a particular source of protein can also carry several other micronutrients that provide anti-inflammatory actions. In context of an individual that weight trains to a high intensity, inflammatory responses by the body post-training can be a normal response, usually transient. Therefore, anti-inflammatory foods may be helpful for their anti-inflammatory effects. And some isolated meat sources of protein may not be as conducive to this. For instance, red meat due to its inherent levels of acidity once it's digested.